What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Drop a one in the building. You guys can hear and or see us. See, I never know, by the way. Oh, wait, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Let me make sure that they know what show this is. Oh, shit, are we frozen? Oh, shit, are we frozen?
Damn, el americano más colombiano.
That is your people!
Mi gente!
Yo, can y'all... Oh, shit, we are frozen. Hold on. Yeah. Yo, can sorry about that. Technical difficulties, at least I think. Are we good? See, we never know. Oh.
Mi gente de Colombia.
Your people out there. Your people out there, tú sabes.
Ya sabemos.
Listen, for the first time. Wait, hold on. I feel like I should intro real quick first, and then we'll like I normally do on the show.
Kick off the intro.
I gotta kick off the intro. Listen, salute to everybody that's coming in the building. Let me say hello real quick before we officially get introduced and get started. El Americano Más Colombiano. My G, how are you? Sam, how are you, my G? Sam stays in the comments educating the best way he knows how, especially when I cannot. I appreciate you, Sam. I see what you're doing down there in the comments. Jordan, I appreciate you, man. We back in here. Jonathan, what's good, my G? What's up, Gloria? How are you? How are you? She says, and guess too.
Hey, what up, Gloria?
Gloria, we appreciate you. I don't think I've ever seen a lady in this chat this early.
Yeah.
Love to see it, Gloria. Love to see it.
Love to see it. Salute, everyone coming in the building. Cookies, I see you.
Boy, Mr. Sean.
Double B, how are you? Mr. Sean, good as can be. Hombre, I appreciate you. They donde eres? What's that mean?
Where are you from?
Sheesh. Oh, damn.
Todo bien ahí.
What up? Mike Weary, how are you? Listen, we're going to get into it because this is one more fabulous Red Cup talk.
Oh, yeah.
Coming straight through. That stock market looking good. Listen, we're going to get into it because a lot of y'all was sleeping on me.
Wait till Monday.
Well, a lot of y'all was sleeping on me. Listen. Salud, what y'all drinking? We're going to get into it in a second. Salud. Thank you, Chris, for the $5 super chat. My man, MTR.
Miami,
once
that's
again,
305.
time and time again, we are here continuing to support that gospel. Much love from Miami. Chris.
Love that, Chris.
I appreciate you, my G. Appreciate you, my G.
4 words, Chris. Love to see it.
Love to see it. Listen, bro. Hold up, y'all wasn't ready for this. What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Back in here with yet one more video. Joined today by not one, but 2 very special guests. 1 returning and 1 new. Gents, introduce yourselves.
I'll start down here. You know it's me. Been in here a few times. Jordan in the lab. Excited to be back for another session here. Got another live stream. So we're going to get into it tonight. Let's do it.
It's your boy Pablito. First time in the lab. Super excited. Native of Cali, Colombia. Moved here to the States 20 years ago. Basically gringo. Still born in Colombia. Talk to me, fellas. Talk to me. Ladies.
Listen, talk to them. Listen. For this is the first time. This is the first on the show. Full-blooded Latino on the show. We want to get his perspective.
First Latino on the show. Full-blooded.
Okay, I'm 25%. You know what I mean? But I really don't count because I don't really identify with it as much. Okay, I don't speak the language. Salute to everybody that's coming in the building yet again. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Listen, what I'm sipping on tonight, I'm gonna keep it funky. This is what I'm doing. It's a little bit of crayon.
Ooh, the
Okay.
cool
Keeping it funky.
Okay.
Keeping it.
Just gonna keep it exquisitely funky. That's what I'm sipping on. Everybody that's in the chat right now, again, happy Friday. We made it. We made it. Put a comment in the chat right now what y'all sipping on. Okay, put that down in the comments right now. But gents,
You know what time it
Kick
is.
it off the right way.
salud,
Salud.
salud, salud. Blang. Listen, Malcolm, facts. Yes, they do. I support them too much. Next time that I do, I'm gonna do it with the goddamn Brandon face the other way. Listen, salud. Listen, cookies with the water. Listen, there's disease afoot. so keep hydrated. You know what I'm saying? Keep hydrated. Salud. Okay, we got some Stella Logic Wins. What's good with you? What up, Massage by Maj? I haven't seen you in a while as well. Another live. Yeah, we back in here. Oh, we got that honey jack. I bang with honey jack.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's a little sweet, but
It hits though.
Yeah.
it does.
I feel like honey jack you can't mix with anything. Sort of like this Crown Vanilla.
It's smooth. It's smooth.
Yeah.
Rock's smooth drink.
Factual.
For sure.
Pernell, how are you, my G? How are you? Knob Creek and Coke. Jonathan, sophisticated tonight. I see you with the Knob Creek. I see you. Yeah, everybody that's coming in the chat right now, please make sure that y'all like the video. Wholeheartedly would appreciate that. YouTube needs to show me way more respect on this algorithm as well. Greg, how are you? Listen, it's like a family over here.
Seems like
It's like a family over here.
Regulars,
You know what I'm saying?
regulars.
Just give me a second while I can. Right, exactly. It's the cousins. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else doing a self-quarantine house party? Listen, we're gonna get into that as well. What's good? Just in time for another live. All right, salud, amazing. Salud. I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming in the building. Guys, listen, we've had a very active week. You know what I mean?
Active's an understatement.
for sure.
It's a complete understatement. And I think that is one that we got to do a talk about in a way that we best know how. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot of movement. You know what I'm saying? You know, for the organization that I work for, you know, we now have a work from home schedule. 50% of the time we got to be at home now because of this coronavirus.
Corona.
Yeah.
COVID-19, boys.
Yeah.
COVID-19.
Oh, Lynn, I see you down in the building. MTR Red Cup Talk Live is proof you can socialize without being near actual people. Facts.
Talk to me, Lynn.
Listen, we COVID-19 proof over. I mean, we're not between each other.
Yeah.
Like if one of these motherfuckers are affected, it's a wrap for me. But but y'all can join us over the internet.
We'll never know the source.
We'll never know.
That cup is moist.
As you cough off some phlegm, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. I want to hear that phlegm come
No
out.
dry coughs around
Yeah,
here.
There's no time for that. And salute to Lynn. Y'all already know Lynn. She was here last live stream.
Okay.
Lynn came through with knowledge and diversity in a way we haven't had yet on the channel quite yet. So salute to Lynn. Wholeheartedly appreciate y'all. Corona Fest 2020. Salute to the Bot Factory. What's good, my G? I still got to hit you up regarding designs, bro. That's on my to-do list. I would appreciate if we can work through something. You know what I mean? Marcus Barnett, what's good, my G? Happy to see you. What's good? People put some respect on MTR. Make sure we can keep those likes as decent as the views. Facts. Let's get some likes in there. All right? Let's get some likes in there. And thank you again, Bob Factory, for the $2 super chat, my G. Pip, what's good? Is this
Cheerio?
Is this the band? Listen, Pip always comes through joking on mofos. You know what I'm saying? So Pip, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Is this the Beige Brigade? Happy Friday, everybody. Well, happy Friday to you, you hating ass Pip. Salute to you. Salute to you. All right, so guys, listen. So I had a lot of community chats posted during this week. So I just first wanted to get into the Corona chat talk real quick. Yeah, so real quick, so how do you guys feel about it? Is it overhyped? How's the media treating it? Did you guys see how Donald Trump talked about it? Like from your guys' perspective.
I'll start. So for me, it's just like it's inform yourselves, right? And I've tried to do my best job of staying on, understanding the virus as a whole and understanding how people are receiving information, right? I think right now the media has so much control over what people are reading, and people are just going crazy. Yeah. Right. Like when I went to the store the other day to just kind of like, all right, so if I am quarantined, what are the things that I need? Like if you get it, people aren't prepared for if they get it. People are prepared for if I got to be in a house for, it almost seems like months at a time, right? Yeah. No one was out there buying vitamin C. No one was out there buying, cold and flu medicine. No one was out there buying fluids, like sports drinks, keep your electrolytes, like those type of things where it's just like, all right, well, if I get it, it's not like, the thing is like people are getting tested for, but it's not like they're handing out an antidote. Yeah. They're like, oh, you're just getting tested for it. All right, you got it. This is what you need to do. Yeah. It's not like, oh, you're getting tested for it. It's positive. Here's the antidote. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like prepare for it in case you do get it, as opposed to, well, what if I'm stuck in a house for 40 days? Right. I think there's a balance there where it's like I'm not going to buy 38 packages of toilet paper and 17 cases of water. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like get a Brita filter. Yeah. And buy maybe a roll of toilet paper. And some precautionary things in case you do actually contract the virus. Yeah. Yeah. Like this is not like a zombie apocalypse. Exactly. It is crazy to me. Like it's not in a zombie apocalypse where I feel like a lot of people are treating it as such. Oh yeah. Like it's the end of the world. Like it's the end of time. Like super contagious. Yeah. So it can't spread, but yeah, you don't have to be cooped up in the house. You're just in the house so you don't spread it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not like there's, like you said, zombies walking around the streets. Yeah. Where you're just like, if I go outside and someone sees me, like I'm about to get chased and eaten. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was looking at some data today that was showing like the difference in the infection rates of in Italy versus the United States. And actually the numbers are eerily similar, eerily similar. The thing is that, United States of America is a lot bigger than Italy. So maybe at some point the exponential growth is going to reduce. But right now, as far as like days since the first day of contraction to where we are today, it's like eerily similar to Italy. Maybe I should have brought that out so you guys can see that. So, but at the same time, I keep seeing the argument that, it's not as bad as the flu. The thing is that the death rate seems to be way worse than the flu. Right. So like flu, typically 0.1% of the population dies in a given year. Yeah. But with COVID, it's almost at 4%. And a lot of that might be towards maybe we don't know as much about it. So we haven't gone out, try to figure out different things to help ease people. Right. Like there's not like a TheraFlu for COVID. You see what I'm saying? Right. So it's interesting. But what it's done to our markets, though. Yeah. At least yesterday, we're starting to bounce back right now. But bro, I didn't know if you had anything. Pablito in the building. I don't know if you had anything for him.
I'll give it the basically the other perspective of it, right? So obviously, it's COVID is like a cold, right? You get your cough, you get your fever, but at the same time, I can see why people exaggerate just because you could be carrying it and not knowing, and then it's not really about yourself because we're obviously young, so we'll be okay. But it's who you spread it to. Yeah. Right. So they say you go back home to your family members and you got an old family member. Like for example, my dad's 97. I go home. I don't know. I don't know. I have the COVID. Next, my dad's sick. Boom. I mean, like you said, it's 4% death rate for somebody over 60. It's like 15 or 16% death, like survival rate. Yeah. So it's not really. I can see why people are exaggerating because it's not really about the majority of the population. It's about the people that you're affecting around. Facts. So that's the only perspective I see why people are exaggerating. And I do think that, there shouldn't be shelves with no toilet paper. Like, that's definitely an exaggeration. This is not some hurricane that's running through us. Like, everything's still going to run. Yeah. But I mean, I see the perspective of, hey, like if you have it, stay quarantined because you may not know because who else you're going to affect could be maybe a family member, somebody's kid, etc. So and that's and I did a live stream at the middle of the day, so like we watched it at lunch for a little bit. Oh, you watched it for a little bit? Yeah, because it popped up on the notification popped up. I was like, damn, he at the crib. Listen, work from home for real. No, I was 50% already. Monday. I was like, damn, this guy's already started working
Listen, when the organization started talking about, yo, we about to do work for home for y'all, I was like, peace. So then I was in the crib, and then I was just like, you know what? I see what's happening with the markets right now. I see kind of what's going on. It would behoove me if, like, I'm a man that I say that I am on this channel, and I want to provide knowledge, like, not to only to not communicate when I think that there's a time to exploit money-making opportunities. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I know a lot on this channel, we haven't done a lot of bag talks as of recently, but, you know, I'm building my brand in other ways, and I want to circumvent back into the bag talks eventually. But bro, you made a fantastic point, and I was trying to make that clear on the channel, on the video that I uploaded. It's like, not like three of us in here, we're gonna survive if we get some COVID-19, but it's, you may indirectly kill someone else. Yeah. Right. Like, and that's the real problem. You know, if it's 15%, like that, you know, if they're obese or have respiratory asthma, like, you know, it's really serious at that point. You see what I'm saying? So, and the infection rates, I think worldwide is about 130-ish thousand out of 7 billion. So it's really small, but it seems to be super contagious. So anyway,
super contagious. And and those are the rates that we know of. You know, that's just the people we know. And the US has been so late to the curve as far as, first off, testing everyone, and then second off, being prepared for something like this. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, think about it. We're in the 21st century. And the whole world, we had a country shut down. Like, the world was not prepared for something like this.
It was crazy where it's just like people, like he said, the whole country shut down, and people were still not really taking it serious until like you said, Tom Hanks got it, and then all these sports, and then NBA started to shut down. You know, baseball got suspended, NHL got, like, soccer. People are not like. It's crazy to me that you wouldn't take it serious if a whole country went under quarantine.
Yeah, facts.
Like, that's
crazy.
An
entire country.
And one of the most visited countries in the whole world.
Not like a third world country, like a developed nation.
The Coliseum there. Yeah. I mean,
facts. Yeah. So it's interesting. And then also too, so one thing I was talking about in that video is, because this is happening, you know, this is like, you know, it brought me back to Y2K. You know, back in the 1999. Actually, Y2K probably started in 98 when people were like, if all my young cats in here don't know what the hell I'm talking about, there was a time.
Not B2K.
Not B2K. Y2K. There was a goddamn time where the media was consumed with letting you know that our power grids were going to shut down because the programmers had not anticipated on the date on computers going past 1999. They didn't anticipate on the year 2000. So because of that, the power grids were going to go off. All infrastructure was going to shut down, all this. And there was a lot of people out there that was selling all their shit and buying a shanty in the middle of nowhere and buying guns and food. And they had like a shelter in place. You see what I'm saying? With like 2 levels down beneath. So anyway, there was a lot, like you were going to the supermarket. There was no water on the shelves. Like, everything was gone. Everything was ghost. And guess what happened? The ball dropped, and literally nothing happened. Nothing happened. So I would say that this is way more, because people are actually dying from this as opposed to Y2K. It was a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting. So anyway, during Y2K, and then also during this pandemic right now, the stock market has been greatly affected. So I did a video not too long ago, and shout out to anybody that saw my middle of the day live stream. I was over here working. I took a lunch break and just started to talk to you guys real quick. I said, now is the opportune time where you see all the blood red, and you know damn well this is like people just running in the street scared, screaming bloody murder, that you get in on the markets right now. So what I did was I dropped a link to my Robinhood account, which is a free stock trading app, which is key because a decade ago, there was no way to stock trade without fees, right? So you could do it, app that you could download on your phone. If you guys look down in the description of this video right now, you're going to see that link in there as well. Shout out to everybody that signed up for that. I think I have like 20 or so referrals that came from that. So shout out to each and every one of y'all. Yeah, and then I posted. I'm gonna show you guys here in a second, just so we could talk about it real quick. Chrome tab.
Mark is not done though.
You said what?
It's not done going down.
You said it's not done, right?
Nah, it's not done going down.
Well, it's not done, but listen, but people made money yesterday.
Oh, 100%.
So I posted this not too long ago. Did y'all see my coronavirus how to make money video yesterday or not? Shout out to everybody that signed up for the Robinhood Up Under Me. Let's continue to build. If you missed it, you missed some serious gains. Salute. If you got in, Snapchat, you know what I'm saying? 5.5%, 6.4%. Ford, 5%. GE, 8.8%. JP Morgan, 7.2%. Facebook, 5.8%. Bank of America, 7.6%. Salute. Listen. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to talk about money-making opportunities unless I'm about it. And then look what happens. This was the day after I uploaded the video. So again, guys, if you're not familiar, just go into the link in the description and download the Robinhood app through that link. And then let's have a conversation about that. Also, too, before we get into all the topics of today, I want to say shout out to all of my Patreon supporters and subscribers. Salute. I just hit over the 40 mark. I just hit over the 40 mark. So salute and thank you to all of y'all for signing up. Y'all already know the content that's going up in there. It's a little bit different than my YouTube channel, but it is what it is. All right, so listen. One of the things that I did want to talk about. Oh, salute everybody that's coming out in the chat. Jay, I see you, my G. I see you. That's Unc right there. We're going to talk about it. That's Unc right there. John, nothing. I see you, my G. Razel, come on. I see you. I don't know if, porn's going to be available forever. Porn's not going away.
Can't find it, make it. Exactly.
Just make your own. Upload it to your iCloud account or whatever. And you'll never. That's actually the best porn is the ones that you make. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mr. Precise. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Salute! FTR, guest and chats. The topic of tonight is much needed. Societal double standards are real. We're going to talk about it, bro. We're going to get into the conversation right here. That I usually do about 20 minutes of pre-workout before we get into the main topic and show. Mr. Precise, I appreciate you, my G, as always. As always. Sam S says the market has stabilized, but will go down, but not drastic like it has been in the past week. What you guys think about the market?
Let's see about that.
I mean, I think we are in the infant stages of what this coronavirus is actually still going to do to America. The worst
is yet to come.
I think exactly what he said. I think the worst is definitely yet to come. So we'll see. We'll see how this whole market pans out, but I don't think we're done yet. I think we're just in the beginning stages.
Wait till they suspend all U.S. travel. It's coming.
You think domestic?
It's coming.
Wait for it. I think so. Like, and the only reason that gives me that idea is when I look at the charts of Italy versus United States. Like, literally, our numbers of infection, and this is just, and these are those that go into a hospital. A hospital says, "Yep, you got COVID-19," and then they log it. Like, Lord knows how many people are just chilling with COVID-19, just coughing on each other.
For sure.
A lot. So, yeah, we'll see.
Some people may not have the resources to go to hospitals, and they could just be out there.
And that's the other part. It's like, this test is like costs $1,300 to get tested, just to get tested. They're not even handing out antidote. It costs $1,300 just to get tested.
No, thank you. No, thank you. If you don't have insurance, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, just like flat rate. If you don't, like, if you have insurance, it might not be on copay. Yeah. But the test itself is $1,300.
That's crazy.
Insane.
That's insane. That's crazy,
bro. For a test, and now you don't even give me the cure.
The cure, right? If it was a test and the cure,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, when you give me the cure, okay, I can see it, but you're just telling me I have it. At that point, I could just stay my ass in the house.
That's 4 words right there.
Wait, hold up. We got some up to minute information. Testing is free now.
Okay. Where?
Yeah, we're right. Jordan, let's talk about it. Whoever's investing in real estate right now is blessed. I don't know. The real estate market hasn't been affected as of yet. We gotta wait.
Ever since 08.
Real estate's still booming.
Listen. All right, so guys, let's get into one of the first topics of the conversation today. Let me bring it up. Wrong button. Chrome tab. All right, listen. All right. Let's talk about it. Oh yeah, also too, let's go over this real quick. Guys, thank you so much to all of the support on the channel recently. Uploaded a video a day ago. If she does this to you, you don't want her. DJ Envy reaction with him and his wife. Salute to everybody that came through and commented on the channel. That did almost 4,000 views. Fantastic new numbers. The coronavirus pandemic, that was my live stream for a quick 35 minutes. 1.4K views. Appreciate all of the love and support. Everyone that signed up under me. Feminist movement is confusing. Live stream highlight. Listen, 1.6K views. If you guys don't know, I'm gonna start doing that a little bit more on the channel. There's a lot of people that actually that watch my videos that don't watch the live streams. So this was a highlight from the live stream. Salute to Mo. Women desire real men. We did a Jordan Peterson reaction. And then finally, dating. Don't waste your time. Dating is dead. Salute to Ashley.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, dating is dead.
Oh, it is.
Salute to Ashley. Ashley, it seems like a lot of people don't remember Ashley, but Ashley, a couple of months ago, we did a video, and that video caused a lot of ire amongst the user base. You guys, okay? So she didn't want me to upload any more videos. I convinced her to upload that video, and it did well. So salute to Ashley. I'm gonna try to get her up on here for a live stream so you guys can talk to her. You see what I'm saying? Now, anyway, back to the community. Yeah, Jonathan got me. I had to turn the comments off of that one. Yeah, it got crazy. Okay. Harvey. This poor, pathetic bastard. Let's talk about him. Okay. Here's what I posted 2 days ago. I'm gonna put this on so they can have clarity.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine going from being an absolute titan in your industry with incredible wealth and power to being sentenced to slowly die in a 6 foot, 8 foot coffin. Crazy. Death by accusation or a scumbag who deserved it. What y'all think? Okay. Listen, I'm going to open up arguments in the best way that I know how. Let me talk to my guests real quick. Guys, listen. I know our understanding of the Harvey Weinstein case is a little bit different. I want to get into the comments as well. I'm going to go through some of the top comments just so we have a clear understanding. Initial thoughts. Okay, he was sentenced to 23 years, which is a life sentence for him. You see him bent over in his chair, looking like a frail human being. I know you see that.
I mean, that's what we see, right? And in a place like this, in a situation like this, optics go a long way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a jury trial, to see somebody like that, you're trying to play a sympathy card. Not to say these aren't his ailments. I'm just saying there's convenient to be looking like this, to have a walker, to be struggling.
He had back surgery.
I mean, he can have whatever he wants.
Okay.
85 accusations, 85 accusations.
I mean, so he looks like he doesn't want to be sentenced a long time, is what I'm trying to say.
Facts.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So I mean, initial thoughts. I mean, he's old now. It doesn't take away from what he did. I think from my perspective is, like you said, it's just more of an opinion. But I think if the victims feel any level of justice, then 23 years is 23 years. But like you said, at his age, 23 years is a death sentence. He's
gonna absolutely die in there. Now let me ask you, because I know you are not as familiar with the case, but we're gonna get into it. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, bro. So, but take it from a different perspective, and I wanted to highlight this and bring this up. I think, position of power aside, he messed up, right?
Oh, yeah.
He absolutely messed up in a sense that he had accusations from young women that said that he forced himself on them through oral or what have you. A couple of the comments that I received, we'll get into the comments in a second, talk through that, but where's the evidence? Where's the evidence of that? My initial kind of thought to that is those situations never have evidence. They never have evidence. But we live in a society, in a judicial system that says you are innocent until proven guilty. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if it's ever happened to you guys, but it's happened to me where I had someone try to accuse me of something and it was absolutely false. Absolutely false. And I knew that if she came public with what she told me that she was going to do, I would have been guilty at the point of accusation. I would have been guilty. Now, I think Cosby, as well as this bastard, they're a little bit different because he's had insurmountable amount of accusations, sure, but sure, they're accusations. So I wanted to pose this question. I don't think there's any clear answers, and I can tell in the comments that I'm getting ready to go through right now. We'll go through the top comments that got the most likes. There's not a clear answer, but I wanted to talk about it in a way that can highlight. And also, too, this was the start in the beginning of the Me Too movement. I mean, this was it. And then it was. And then he went away for a little bit, and then Bill Cosby came out of nowhere and just took the Me Too light. He took the Me Too spotlight after a while. You know what I'm saying? Some hits. He
fell on it.
Yeah, he definitely took some hits.
And he got locked up, and then now, but like this, Harvey is what initiated it. The Me Too, the Time's Up, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to get you guys' initial thoughts on the way that I'm trying to describe this.
Like you said, I think it's rough waters to travel. You know, in a situation like this, especially at a time when. You know, I don't know I'm not familiar enough to know when the most recent accusation was, but I mean, during this time when he was doing these things, if you don't, I mean, and this is out of pure ignorance, right? If you don't have a rape kit, it's his word versus her word, mm-hmm, right? I think that's really what it comes down to. If there is no kit with that physical evidence, then it's more or less like, all right, well, you tell me about the night that it happened, and then he's going to tell me about the night that it happened. I think only in my mind where it comes to fruition is the numbers, mm-hmm, right? I think, you know, and I think we were talking about it, 85, you can't look past 85 accusations.
And I was going to bring that point about, I was like, I mean, no rape kit or a rape kit. I mean, 85 accusations, 85 accusations. No, there's no way that 85 girls got in one group all together and we're like, we're going to go against this guy.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate just for a second. Does 85 seem weird because we may not have 85 close friends? Now imagine if millions of people know you. Just imagine for a quick second if millions of people know you. And this was the bit what Bill Cosby was saying, or Bill Cosby's lawyer was saying that with young women, I forget her name. But if millions of people know about you, does 85 seem as weird? Because I think we're thinking about it from the perspective of 80. If I had, or if y'all had 85 people that was accusing you of shit, but when it's 85, but you are a
almost larger percentage of people who know you.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I mean it's. I mean, I think 85 is worse if 100 people know you.
I just feel like
it's still 85.
There's a lot of famous people out there, and not every single one of these famous people. I mean, if that was the case, then every single famous person would be getting accusations of something, so they can get some type of money, right?
Yeah.
So why this guy?
Because
I'm saying, but why not another superstar?
Because he's probably a rapist. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make. That's exactly the point that I'm trying to make. Why would I understand out of the population that he knows, A lot more, like obviously a lot more people know him, but why him?
Well,
and why not? Who knows? I don't know. Another big art producer.
It's clear to me that he has some shitty human being shit about him, right?
For sure.
I think that also too, he clearly obstructed the idea of a man in power, right? And he is someone that I talk about on this channel. Absolute power absolutely corrupts, in my opinion. I think that he used his power in order to bust some nuts. And I do think that he didn't allow certain people to get positions because of his sexual relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that it's gross. I think that it's, but at the same time, like, I think this is another example. I think he's an extreme because he's a creep, but it's an example of, like, if you follow just the chocha, right? If you go after just the viscosity, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, unabashedly, and right, like, and you do it from a power perspective, you are putting yourself at a terrible place, And there's some dudes that may not know that. Like, there's a lot of dudes that can blow up quick, and then they get money and power associated with them, and they just don't understand that, okay, now that you're viewed like this, you may not think of yourself in a power position, but other people think of you as in a power position. So you cannot use where you're at as leverage for viscosity.
And at that level, I mean, you're under a microscope.
Facts.
Everybody's after you. Like, you have all this money. Like, you're under a microscope. You should be extra careful. You shouldn't even be doing any of those you shouldn't even put yourself in any of those situations.
I mean, if you look at it, right, I think it's an optics thing too, right? When you look at, and I haven't seen any of the women that accused him, but when you watch him come into a courtroom and then you see, like, this, for lack of a better term, like, fine ass woman walk in, you know there's an exchange there. The exchange is not just sex. Yeah. There is more than I'm going to have sex with you because I want X or I want Y. For him, his X was, I just want some cat. And for her, the X was, I'm trying to get in this movie, or I'm trying to get FaceTime with so-and-so. Yeah. I'm trying to show my skills to such and such, where it's just like, and to me, I mean, you look back when these accusations probably took place, 20 plus, 30 plus years ago. I mean, I think for me, it can be seen somewhat as predatory as well as just like manipulative, right? You know the power that you have. Besides money, you know the power that you have, the access that you have. And I feel like to dangle that in front of somebody, as far as like, you give me this and I'll give you access to talk to this director, or I'll make sure you get some screen time in this movie. I think that is to yourself, to what you said, is just like a poor human quality.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, meanwhile, if he said it, like, if there wasn't a dealing with an actress's livelihood, and he just said, listen, I am a multi-millionaire. I have money in the bank. How much do you want for viscosity? It still would have been illegal, because that is illegal.
True.
But I feel like those terms, right, like, are a little bit more tolerable, because you're setting up the complete exchange. He knows what he's getting, she knows what she's getting, and there's not like well, you do this to affect the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a lot, because there's a lot of women too that look probably better than the women that he had in his ish, that would have exchanged just based off of,
and this is their profession.
Yeah, it just is what it is. It just is what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a quick look at the comments. Let me see where you guys were at.
Grab some more ice.
Go ahead, bro.
Refill.
Oprah and Gail know about him. He looked like a scumbag to me. Yeah, I saw a lot of comments that were like, "Yo, where's the Oprah and where's the Gail documentary?" I think that's a fantastic question. He shouldn't be too powerful to protect. You know what I mean? Menzie says, this is difficult to comment on. It's difficult to talk about as well, bro. But I feel like we got to hit this topic. You know what I mean? We got men and women in the chat right now. So I feel like better time than now. Well, what's a better time? He put himself in a silly position. Says Logic. Yeah. I don't know how it gets any more silly than what he did. Like it's stupid the way that he did. You know what I mean? And even this, like for the corporation that I work for, guys, like there's policies put in place where like if you're a manager, you cannot be in a relationship with someone who's in your organization. Like this is in most organizations and companies, like there is some type of stipulation where they'll say from an HR perspective that you cannot be in it because it's that power. And it's because something that manager might write on someone's review can have a lifelong effect or influence on kind of their career or what's happening, or like if there's hiring decisions and and it's the thing is that like
you don't shit where you eat.
Listen, you don't poop where you eat. And the thing is like there used to be a time where a corporation like the one that I work for was dominated by men. Used to be a time, and this would never be a conversation. It would never be a conversation. But we're in different times now, so we got to learn how to gel and work together. And what I say is, don't poop where you eat, because the more that you poop where you eat, you're just opening yourself up to
different situations.
Yeah, different situations. Salud, Daryl coming in the building. What's good, my G? What's good? All right, checking out the comments. All right, seeing if we got anything. Shaquille said, yeah, he's trash. He's admitted to sexually assaulting women in a statement. Oh, I didn't realize that. And someone put a wire on one of the girls he touched, and he admitted to touching her inappropriately because he's used to it. There's a weird state that you can get in if you become used to the power that you have and that influence on other people and being able to abuse that influence. So it's a weird thing that can happen. You know what I'm saying? When you have all that power to control people's futures, right? But I think we also got to talk about too, like the structures that were put in place to make him successful for 20 to 30 years. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's more or less lack of outlets, right? I think we live in a day and age where you can come home from a situation, and upload a video, and you'll have outpouring of support. I think back then, in a position that some of these women might have been in, it might have been like, he did this to me. She tells somebody he did this to me, and just like, how many girls would wish they were in your shoes to have that time with Harvey Weinstein, to be in his presence, like that type of situation, which is a full-blown deterrent to the situation of what she went through.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's just the fact that we live in a day and age where the media allows for a story to be told and support to be had, versus back then where it's just like you might tell somebody what happened and they might be on the same shit. Like, man, girl, I wish that would have been me. I wish I could have been, had some FaceTime with Harvey Weinstein or been in that room with such and such, where it's just like, I could see why that would deter you from even saying anything, or where do you say something? Like, who's going to believe you? We live in a day and age where you have people that will believe you from jump because of the experiences of other people. Which back then you didn't have those outlets or those support systems.
Facts. So
I really think those are the things that over time have just developed where, you don't have to hold it in. You don't have to be scared. It's more or less, there is a support system. There is an outlet for, your story.
Crazy. All right. Well, I think we beat that topic into the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Mark B.
Hold on, with my soundboard. Go ahead, get it. Salud to Mark B. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. What's good, my G? Glad to see you fix your audio issues. Yeah, it's been a trying. Every time that I upload a video, I see a motherfucker like, your audio is shit. I apologize, okay?
It's a work. It's a work in progress.
It's good now, though. Salute to your guests. Keep up the good work. I think it means work. Salute, Mark B. I appreciate you.
That Q will get you.
Absolutely. Get a Q will get you. All right, so guys, listen, let's switch topics here for a quick second. I wanted to also continue to go back down through the community chats. I uploaded this one not too long ago. I got a homegirl. She's actually been on the show before, which is why I thought that this was relevant. Let's talk about this blue pill-ish, okay? Recent conversation. Being a blue pill, overly cautious dude doesn't work. Proof is in the pudding. So she sent this to me, and we hadn't talked in like a little while. So I'm just saying, yo, we were just saying like, yo, what's up? I'm trying to, schedule some time for her. She's like, yeah, like some things had changed. I'm trying to date someone right now. So this is what the text was. This is the blue pill, what I think is a blue pilled mangina. It's okay though. He can learn a little bit from us. I should have told her to send the young man my videos. Like he's being too respectful. Like I don't want to be asked if I'm okay cuddling and shit. I like when a man just takes.
Ooh.
Blue pill.
I can see you saying just responding like blue pill, blue pill.
Yeah, I was at work like
blue pill.
She goes, LOL. I feel like it was enough time for him to feel comfortable doing that. I was fine with him taking a step back initially, but now I'm like, okay, you don't need to be this cautious.
Can never win.
Can never win.
Never win.
Salud. Yeah, listen, I want to get into the comments real quick. Let's go straight to the top of the comments. Let's hit it like this. Listen, I'm gonna make sure that they see what's going on. I think you guys can read that. Bob Dylan. I don't know why his is at the top, but it is because he doesn't have that many likes. Okay, my top comments. It is what it is. This ain't it, bro. Maybe the girl is not making him comfortable enough to take the lead.
Okay.
The last thing you want is a misunderstanding of some allegations. Now, meanwhile, I posted this up here too during the same week during the Harvey Weinstein stuff because I felt like it was an interesting conversation. Bob says, got to be careful. This is more of a miscommunication between them both. They should talk about it so they're on the same page. Salute to Bob.
What about that one?
Salute to Bob. Chuck's Fitness says it's funny because this is what the Me Too culture has created. People can't tell what's acceptable protocol anymore. He's resulted to being uber cautious and making sure he has consent every step of the way. The feminist said consent is sexy, but now it's being practiced. There's a problem. Typical.
He just has to cuddle though. Let's relax.
Listen, Nana says maybe he's not trying to give Me Too. Listen, so anyway, the theme that y'all came across in the top is like, that he's being cautious because of Me Too and that she's not communicating correctly. So I wanted to talk about this, guys. I want to get you guys' opinion based off of kind of what the text that you see in and also kind of what we're seeing on here. How do you guys feel about how the conversation is? And also talk through your own experiences. Like, have you ever been too nice to a girl and you felt like she disrespected you at the end of the day, or like you lost out on that situation because you were too nice?
So I never lost out on this situation because I was too nice, but I did have a woman tell me that she was wondering why I didn't, I guess, go for it. And I'm like, no, the last thing I need is some shit to come out or some allegations of he was being forceful. I mean, I'm not a small dude, so it's just like he was being forceful. I'm like, I very much took the back seat in that situation because I know, like I said, I know my size, I know I'm big, and like me being, especially being a black man, me going for it can definitely be seen as aggressive, or definitely be seen as forward. Or all she has to say is, "Oh no, this isn't that." And now all of a sudden there might be some allegations of he was trying to force himself on me, and I told him no. And I was like, this is why I play the backseat when it comes to this. Like, yeah, I can throw some hints out there. Like, oh yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for, or just like, in a flirtatious, spitting game kind of way. But I will very much defer until one, we either have a conversation, or two, she's much more forward, and I kind of take, I don't have to take the lead in that situation. It's not that I can't, but it's to this exact point where it's just like, oh, every woman's different and all their experiences are different. If I come across aggressive or assertive, I might say assertive, she might say aggressive. If she says aggressive, I'm in a losing place already. You know what I mean? So it's just like my back. I was like, nope, well, fuck, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. You know, I'm leaving. So I mean, I think it's too respectful. I think is a kind of a clownish term to use when it comes to that. Is I think to what some people were saying, where it's just like it's all that turns into if he's like, yo, so are you cool with Kevin? And all she got to be like, yeah, you don't have to ask. Now if he keeps asking after that, that's a different story. You've already communicated, like, look, bro, this is what it is. You don't have to keep asking. I think that is to her to the point where it's just like, I want him to, you know, kind of pretty much what she says is I want him to take control. You do until you don't. You know what I mean? You want to take control until you're uncomfortable. Because then as soon as you're uncomfortable, then it comes to communication perspective, right? Which I don't necessarily think is bad or good, but it's at the same point, it's like you don't want to allow the man to get too comfortable and then you try to say something, right? I think like you said, in this day and age, tiptoeing is how we as men protect ourselves in these kind of situations where it's just like, all right, this worked, all right, now to, you know, second base. Second base work. Now we're on the third base. You know, I'm not looking to hit home runs anymore. I need to round the bases first. You know what I mean?
You know what? I want to tell you guys so a couple of quick things, and then Pablito, I want to get your reactions. A couple of quick things. Number one, there's a lot of folks down in here that are saying that he is not blue pilled. He is cautious. The text continued for a little bit. This is Mediocre's opinion. He's blue pill. But let me give you guys a tip that I use. And I'm going to share the exact tip with the Patreon because they deserve it. Okay. Here's my tip. There's a website that you can go on and you can send the person that you're dating this website in order to understand how they want you to view them and how they are to be viewed. And to me, you send them a test. It's like if you sit at home and you take a personality test, like a Myers-Briggs or something like that, so you can understand yourself. This test that I'm thinking of in my mind, I send it to them. And it helps me understand exactly what they want. So it'll let me know, like, oh, she likes more aggressive dudes. Like she likes this, she likes that. So like in a very short amount of time, I can really understand. And they like doing that. They like taking tests. They like, data collection. Yeah, it's all data. Like it just goes back to the data. And the thing is like the more that you know about them and what they expect, it just lowers and mitigates the risk of some bullshit happening later. Right. Or like it mitigates the risk of you losing out on the viscosity because you slept on it while you was being cautious. She thought you was over here not being aggressive enough. You see what I'm saying?
It's funny as you say, because I just picture you being like, all right, so we got the results here.
Yeah.
I think I know how to work with this. I think we got
like, all right, okay. Or not work with it.
This is what you said this question. So I follow this straight over here. You were lying when you answered that. You were lying when you answered.
Right, exactly. Yeah, bro. How about you? Has anything ever happened to you like that?
I mean, I feel like there's two different situations. I mean, one is when you're with a girl and there's alcohol involved. I feel that's a whole different situation. And your second is if you're just with her and then you're just being a blue pill. Yeah. I mean, you get like it also depends on the girl too. Like I guess to your point, like she has to communicate. Like if you're not getting those signs and she wants you to like chase, like for example, I'm not the guy that's gonna chase. That's just not me. Like I'm not chasing girls.
Run it by yourself.
Yeah, I'm not chasing it. So like if she is clear, like, oh, this is how I want this to be, then okay, we're good. But I'm saying to your point, like when both parties are already drinking, fucked up, like that's just a whole different. I think that's a whole different scenario than the blue pill. Yeah, I feel like that decisions are made differently when both parties are fucked up. So I think that's where you have to be your most cautious though, because you never know what can come back. So that's just my perspective on the whole.
Listen, man, there's we got to be in 2020, you got to be exceptionally more careful now with the drinking shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when I was growing up, back in my day, there wasn't like how it is like today. Like, if you go out, you go on a date and y'all start drinking throughout the night, like, you got to be exceptionally careful. Like I've actually had it in my life too, where I wake up in the morning and she doesn't remember why she slept over there. And I'm like, wait a minute, you were coherent as hell last night having a conversation with me. Yeah. You were coherent as hell.
Women don't know how scary that conversation is.
Scary.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying. You can't do that to me.
Terrifying.
Okay? What you mean? But thankfully in that particular situation, my boy was there around the entire night. So I had someone else with like an alibi. Mm-hmm. It's not like she tried to do anything weird with it, but it was just like when she said that, I was like, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't understand like how damaging that any of those things can potentially be. You know what I'm saying?
Because the excuse for the man of I just don't remember I was that fucked up will not work.
Will not work.
Will not work.
And you guilty. A man is guilty by association.
For sure, especially in that situation.
He's shunned when the association occurs. Salute to Quiz. Salute, bro. Yeah, I agree, MTR. I'm always straightforward. I feel, bruh, in the text, but sometimes we got to be cautious, especially in certain situations. Then again, he could have been blue pill. We need more info.
But I think to your point, especially with like cuddling is like it's infancy stage, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying.
And what cuddling is one of those things too, where like it's one of those things where it's like I hate to say it like this because it might sound kind of rapey, but it's just like do and ask permission later type of situation. I don't want to say because like I said, it sounds kind of weird, but it's just like, all right, go for a quick cuddle. If she doesn't want to, she'll let you know up front. I mean, versus like most women won't be like, so do you want to cuddle? Or like, I want.
That's so infant though. It's cuddling. I mean, I don't really like cuddling though.
Well, the thing is too is like you just gotta make like there's a lot of dudes out there that don't know when they're being creepy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right, like that's the thing is like that's why I tell people is like you wanna on a date like you wanna do your obligation to close physical distance as fast as what you can, because then you get an understanding of like when I say close physical distance, like if you opening the door, guide her through, hand on back. If she's sitting down in a chair, open a chair, hand on elbow. It's like what are the things that you can do? Because like you get data from that. Mm-hmm. And when you get data back, like if they look up and smile at you, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay,
But if they don't, there's another conclusion that you can draw from that.
I mean, cuddling is weird too, right? Because it's just I feel like most of the time it's initiated by the woman. So it's not looking at the message, I feel like it might have been a little bit of a blue pill situation just because like the topic is cuddling. The topic is cuddling. Like if she's cuddling on you, there's no questions to be asked. Like what question are you asking at that point? If she's on you?
Yeah, and if you already had like intercourse with her, then if that's already like a given. Like if you don't cuddle after, then you're just like, oh, this guy just fucked me for no reason, and then not even like you know what I'm saying. Like I mean, it all depends on what the expectation is, but
yeah.
I mean, you fuck a girl and you don't cuddle her like right after. You're like, oh, she's like, oh,
you might try to get some sleep. Dog. Maybe you don't get no sleep when she in the bed.
Yeah.
Listen, and salute to David Ash. He says Mediocre is a quintessential blue/purple pill man. So a reason why I brought this chat up is because I wanted to get into another conversation. There's a lot of dudes that's over the internet that have this idea of how life is supposed to live, how life is supposed to be lived, and how you're supposed to treat women, and how conversations are supposed to be had. And I see a lot of them on my channel that will comment something to an extent of whatever it is that they think that the extent of that conversation is, in a way to show me how they view themselves. And I wanted to get into that real quick. Let me come back over into the chat. So I posted this earlier this week, and I wanted to have a conversation about it. Let me make this just a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. All right, so listen, the type of content I do sparks interesting debate from both men and women. Okay. I understand that due to the anonymity of the internet, I can expect you to get a range of negative comments. And because of my understanding, I've become numb to it. However, my guests have not. Shout out to Kelly. I'm going to do a video to address the negativity in the red pill space, driven by men that exude feminine. Let me see. Let me make this a little bit bigger.
I'm going to do a little quick read more.
Feminine emotional energy. Red pill should be positive, understanding female/human nature, accepting it while avoiding the pitfalls of it. Instead, is beginning to turn into a cesspool for incels to voice their opinion. It needs to be addressed.
Cesspool for incels.
Yeah, no, it's become a complete and utter cesspool. I mean, we got to talk about it because the thing is like, look at David Ash's so the thing is, there's dudes that come onto this channel and know the topics that we talk about, and they say things like this, like, you know, quintessential blue/purple/red. And the thing is I'll be honest with you guys, I don't identify with none of it. I don't like being tagged by any of it. I don't like it. It's not my thing. I feel like I make my own thing. And there's a lot of people just like that young man that identifies with something. I mean, it is what it is. You could think and or be whoever it is that whoever defined it before you wants to be or wants not to be. You know, in my opinion, that's some following shit, right? I've never said before on this channel, if this is a red pill channel. Yeah, this is Red Cup Talk, right? I've never said this is a purple pill channel. I never said that this is a blue pill channel. I've never said any of that. What I do is that I talk about from the perspective of someone who thinks like they're red pill. I talk from the perspective of someone who thinks like it's MGTOW, and we have a conversation about it, you know? And it just is what it is. That's just what happens. But the reason why I wanted to bring that up is to talk about essentially what Logic just put right here. Labels limit you. You see what I'm saying? No, don't block anybody. Don't block anybody. No. I see you, Jonathan.
That's a real community.
I see you, Jonathan.
That's a real subscriber right
there.
there.
I see you.
That's a real subscriber right
Salud.
there. I fucks with it.
Salud.
Michael.
Oh,
we gotta put the music back on.
Salud. No, I gotta talk to Jonathan real quick. That's good. But see, the thing is that and let me just talk real quick. There's a lot of dating coaches out there that got y'all confused. Let me be real and clear for a quick second. There's a lot of dating coaches out there that have y'all confused. They put you in these labels. They put you in these buckets. And you think if you don't act exactly like what's in these labels and these buckets, then you're doing something wrong. I think that the content that I show on this channel, my Patreon subscribers already know what's going on behind scenes, that there's multiple ways to skin a cat. Now, at the same time, there's universal truths, and I talk about those universal truths on the channel, right? There's universal truths and there's universal falses. And there's things that are involved with our nature that has to do a lot with the reason why people, our young men, are losing out there. However, we have these conversations to put them up between men as well as women to talk about what can we make out of it. You see what I'm saying? I think that it's gross that we have so many people out here that put themselves in a label and feel like they have to follow a very finite way of living in order to attain something. These are young men with scarcity mindsets. They haven't found anything else out in their life in order to attain level of happiness. So they feel like following a particular rule book is how they're going to win. You know, it saddens me that we have so many people, young men out there that are complete and utter followers, complete and utter. You know what I'm saying? They're not willing to put up ideas to pressure test in a way that can help us all move forward. That's part of the goal of this channel. Salute to everybody that's coming down into the chat. Mr. Michael Bennett, salute to you. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat.
Don't forget.
Dave Ash. If MTR was true blue, he wouldn't be able to enjoy the juicy combo he indulges with women.
Exactly.
It is now blue pill to have women expose their truths in a public forum at no cost. It is a mastery. Salute to Michael Bennett. He gets it. There's a lot of these dudes out here that just don't get it because they don't have women around them.
Ooh, 4 words.
There's a lot of them that
Hate to
don't.
see it.
That don't have any of them around them. And there's a lot of y'all dating coaches that y'all follow don't have them around it. Not the best ones. There's a couple out there that's like, okay, there's receipts. But there's a lot of them that have no receipts whatsoever.
It's like a cult.
Yeah, it's a weird cult. It's a lot of dudes out there like Ash that just like, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, but salute to him. I hope he finds his way. Salute to Sean Bills. Incels are ridiculous. Doing a music project on this. You absolutely should, my G. Get that word out. Sean, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. El Americano Mas Colombiano. And you going to Colombia soon too, bro, right?
Yeah, Cartagena.
Hey.
Copa America.
Listen, we're going to do a whole conversation about that as well. We're only an hour in, gents. We got some time. We're only going to be up here for 55 more minutes, by the way, okay? We're not doing another 4 hour. Okay, we got shit to do tonight. Some just want the world to go their way, to get mad that it doesn't and become butthurt because they are afraid to change themselves. Salute. That's a lot of the problem. You know what I'm saying? People just want shit put on a platter and nothing else. They're not willing to work as hard as like me or anyone else that's on this panel right here. I worked hard for my shit.
It's cold standing alone.
It's cold standing. Is a lot of these motherfuckers that just want the rule books. They don't want to put in the work. They just want the finish line.
Want to be lit.
They don't want the race. There's a lot of them out there. Exactly. The thing is that what is a will, there's a way. If you want to open yourself up to teaching, right? Like if you want to learn something beyond what you know in your current jurisdiction, in your geography that you currently live in, there's a way to do that. But don't be fooled out there by all of the information that's out there that put things in a way, in a method, in order to convince you to do something unbeknownst to what is actually going to make you happy. Brazil, salute. MTR, forget what you talking about, buddy. We just want to bust nuts. Oh, yeah, baby. Deep breath. Don't touch it, please. Salute to Brazil, always coming through with the smooth troll. Listen, J-Do says, that's pro shit, man. That's blind leading the blind. Salute, J-Do. Yeah, there's a lot of BS that's going out there. Massage it is, I mean, come on, 99% of y'all are lying. I truly think y'all holding these girls after sex. Pillow talk. Tell us it's okay. Massage, show us some respect. Show us some respect. That's funny. Yeah, yo. You know, it's crazy because I've seen a lot of different people come through on the channel, and oftentimes, like, you know, a lot of that is just you know, it's just people's myopic view of what the world actually is. But anyway, I want to get back down into this as well. My bad, guys. I'm trying to incorporate you on the chat.
No, we're good.
Yeah, we're chilling.
So this is what the young man came through with. I could tell, right? So this was on a video that I did not too long ago. This is a Alpha Male Strategies reaction. This is with Ashley, actually, and Ashley is married. Let me just bring this up real quick. So, you know, I get trolls on, you know, and actually this happens a lot more often than what you guys know and or can see. I could tell this guy's a beta because of the masculine energy she was expressing and the too feminine energy. Glad he got fucked over by a single mom. Don't even know what he's talking about. This guy was looking at his phone because he was feeling insecure. It makes me glad to know that if AMS was there, he could easily snap a finger and take it. You know, what's so weird about this? Like, I read all of those. In the most gross one is that bottom. If AMS was there, he could snap his. So it's not even someone that's coming on the channel and they're trolling because he can come there and snap his fingers. Like, he's saying another man can come there and snap his fingers and take someone. Like, it's so weird. Like the amount of comments and weird things that go on in this YouTube stuff. But anyway,
and why would you write another man's like dick like that?
If he's listen, I don't know.
Like, that's crazy to me. Like, yeah, if he was there, he would take your chick. Like, for me, I'm like, bitch, I'll take your chick. Like,
right. If you're gonna say it,
yeah,
like that's an insult.
And I'm glad to know that if I was in that room, I'd take your bitch. Like, what you talking about this other grown ass man taking a chick for? That's crazy to me.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Like it's the most wackest human beings. You know, it's the thing. Like I get like a lot of hate on the channel from time to time, and I go up on the dudes' channels and I'm like looking, I'm just like, oh, okay. You hate me because you hate yourself. Yeah. Because you're not dope.
Exactly.
Like there's nothing dope about you. But I say what I say to like those human beings, like, you know, hopefully you can get outside your own way to introduce new content to yourself that can help you move a little bit more fluidly in the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me how you worship another man so much that you that you say something like that.
You might as well tag him in the comment at that point.
At that point, you know what I'm saying? All right, let me back up out of here. Pablito,
talk to me.
Have you ever messed with any black chicks?
Oh, 2 in one night. I should have said that loud. 2 in one night. I can tell you that story. But
sheesh, you were just over here just.
Nah. So I was in college. It was when I was in college, and so I played soccer in college, and we had a huge soccer party, and one of the soccer girls was really into me, and yeah, she was African American, whatever, and I was like. I wasn't really into her, but then her friend was like really pushing for it, and at that point at the night, I was like, "All right." I was at that fucking stage. After a few more red clubs, I was at the fucking stage. So whatever. We go to her room. Bam, bam, bam. Done. I walk back to my dorm. So we were having a party in my dorm. Come back to my dorm. My roommate is there with like 2 other girls. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna take this girl. This other girl like wants to mess with you." Another black chick. And but she was actually like, she had a really nice body, but she had a tape. But I was like, fuck it.
Wait, she had a what?
Like she had like
she had a taper?
Yeah.
She had a Caesar?
She had a smooth barber for sure. No hairstylist.
Yeah,
no hairstylist.
No,
she was lined up. She was lined up, boys. She was lined
up. Was it crisp?
Chris, she was lined up for sure. Nice body, though. Nice body.
Could she pull it off though?
Yeah, nah, she looked cute. She didn't look bad. Yeah. Came back into my room.
There it is.
And that was
Bing bang boom.
2. That's only been the only occurrence that's ever happened. That one.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it all.
Let me. So I'm gonna ask both of you guys a question. I can chime in as well. What's the main difference between dating black women and Latina women?
I don't think there's a difference. They're all crazy. They're all fucking crazy.
Man. I think for me it's been just cultural norms. You know, it's too, and like I say, this me being half black and me being half Mexican. I can kind of navigate both norms of it, right? I think. I think it is. I think the biggest thing is just cultural norms, right? I think dating a black woman is a lot more. I mean, obviously, there's a lot more black culture involved, and then dating a Latin woman is a lot more Latin women involved, or Latin culture involved. So I think it's just the cultural norms, the differences between that. As far as like my presence has been in those relationships, I think they both demanded the same shit. I just think from a cultural perspective, it's been different. Like, and I'll put it to you this way: like, I remember I was dating a Latin chick back in the day, and bringing my black ass home wasn't necessarily allowed.
That's a thing.
You know, that wasn't necessarily allowed. So like, I didn't have to deal with that in the black community when I was dating a black chick. You know, take me home, that's fine. Whoop-de-whoop. But it is very much. I mean, there is a level of racism when it comes in Latin culture when it comes to, you know, black men. Even myself. That's why when I was younger, I made it kind of my point to learn Spanish, to really be able to communicate, to kind of be like, look, I am black, but at the same time, I can relate culturally as well. You know what I mean? And that was just from my own point, where it's just like, I noticed it even in my family. Like my great-great-grandma, you know, God rest her soul, when my mom used to drop my black ass off over there, she wanted no parts of watching me. No parts of watching.
No, this you bring up a good point.
Wait, hold on 1 second, bro. I'm gonna come back to you in a quick second. Salute to Daryl Stevens. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. The confusion / lack for men is attributed to social conditioning, facts, and societal pressures. Define your own reality. Step back from the matrix and recognize and accept it. Then strategize how to navigate it. Salute to Daryl. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Yeah, this is essentially what I was trying to say in just a couple of short words. There's a lot of people that are lost out there, right? So they hear a little bit of information and then they come in full steam with someone else's tutorial, with someone else's framework, without understanding what life means to them, how they can define it, how it makes sense for them. Because in fact, you're just hopping from one matrix to another matrix. You see what I'm saying? Like you're hopping from your societal and your cultural matrix, and then you're hopping into someone else's, what they constructed, what they conceived. And the thing is with this channel, I feel like a lot of people that subscribe to this channel are not happy with one side of the coin or the other. So they're trying to figure out what makes the most sense. You see what I'm saying? Salute to Daryl. Okay, bro. I want to get back into your comment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to your point, I mean, there is a lot of racial background when it comes to Latinos. You know, especially even in Miami. I mean, I grew up obviously I was born in Colombia, but I came to Miami when I was 7. Girls, you know, it's not a thing to bring home a black guy. And I even have friends, like one of my best friends, he's African American, and even recently I was FaceTiming him. He's like, yeah, like, you know, I spent the whole night with this girl. Like I spent her apartment in Brickell, and she's like, yeah, man, like I would totally like date you, but like I just couldn't bring you home. She's Cuban.
Shit, she's Cuban.
But I'm saying it's an actual thing, and it's the same thing when it comes to South American countries, right? Mm-hmm. But in it, you live in a society where like if a guy did that, like if I brought a black girl home, obviously my dad would definitely comment and my parents would comment, but it won't be to a point where like, oh, she's not accepted. But if it was a girl bringing a black guy, hell breaks loose.
Grande Moreno. Is that how they say it?
Yeah. So yeah, no, you know, we talk about like, yeah, white people are racist, that's everything, but somebody that's Spanish and like full-bred Spanish, there is racism in the Latino culture when it comes to black folks, 100%.
For sure.
And I think it comes just from like back from the grandma to the great grandma that's kind of instilled those values into the future parents. But I mean, I feel like now that we're modernizing more, it's starting to be a little bit pushed back. But before, even when I was growing up, like I had families that were some Spanish families that were just not, especially like Cubans were just not with the black folks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess it comes especially because maybe like in South America, like they had like this misconception that like every black person is like some kind of criminal. And I think that's where it comes from, because maybe there is a lot of them in South America. I mean, I'm not saying that's true or not, but maybe that's where it comes from, and that's why, you know, it's not accepted. I mean, and it's funny because now that I'm grown up now, I talk to my parents, and I'm just like, yo, it doesn't matter like what color you are. Like you can't be making these misconceptions off somebody's color, you know?
Facts.
Because at the same time, as we view some people like that, we're viewed like that too, right? You see a Spanish person, oh, Mexican illegal immigrant. Yeah, right away.
Especially now in today's day and age. So even to his point, a lot of people don't know about the transatlantic slave movement and how much that impacted South America. So like a lot of like how blacks are viewed here by white folks are like kind of like that same dichotomy translates down in South America. Like even when I was down there doing some work in Colombia, it was just like for us as black students to be in front of a room full of what I guess you could say is like white Colombians, it was shocking to them. You know, and there was no black native Colombians, like Afro Colombians in the crowd. So it's interesting that dichotomy still exists because slavery was very relevant in South America, you know. And I can go into the whole history lesson of it, but it made me kind of realize a little bit more, even about my Mexican roots, where it's just like I didn't realize a lot of the behaviors of my great grandma until I got older, where I was like, man, she really was not fucking with me. And I was a child. I'm talking like 2-3 years old and I could think about shit that she would like do with just like zero level of communication. And she only spoke Spanish, but at the same time, I would see how she interacted with my older brother, who's full Mexican, versus how she interacted with me. And it was, you know, 2 very different experiences. So I say all that to like say back to your question, like the cultural differences are really the true differences when it comes to, from my experience being a black dude, in those situations.
Yeah. And I feel like everybody has their stereotypes.
Oh yeah.
Like internal bias, unconscious bias. Like, don't try to act like comment on here and be like, oh, I'm not like you all. Everybody in their head has their own internal bias. They're in every situation you see something in your head, you're like, and then obviously you're not gonna say it out loud, but in your head you're thinking something
a certain way.
100%. So that's all I'm saying when it comes to that.
Listen, but also too, so like I experienced, so my mom was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico. My mom chose to not teach me Spanish. My mom is Spanish. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think like technically she's 50%, but she speaks fluent Spanish, and then chose for whatever reason not to teach it to me. Right, like for whatever reason. So I feel like there's different sects, there's different types of Latinos, some that love their culture and some that do not, right? Like, and I don't know the history or the background on that, but I always got the feeling of like being hidden away from Latin culture, like in my family.
And I think part of that might be, and this is what I've heard, from some, parents who have migrated to America and that only speak Spanish, is they don't want their kids to be put in that box.
There you go.
Because they speak Spanish, because that is their first language, people will look at them as an immigrant, and that experience is totally different than people are just like, oh, you speak fluent English. I think that's your first language, so you're more American than you are. I can recognize more with your American culture than I can with your Latin culture.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, especially as this generation that's growing up. One of the things I always tell, kids especially Latin kids, like embrace your culture, like own your story, embrace where you come from, because regardless if you put in a box, you can, if you work hard enough, you can persevere. But yeah, that is one of the main reasons why people try to hide their cultures, because they get put in this box, like, oh, you're an immigrant, or you're this, or your first language is Spanish. Like I get all the time, like, oh wow, your English is really good. If my name was Brad and I was white, they would never say that to me. I would never get that.
Or if your name was some shit they could pronounce.
100%. But obviously my English is very good. Like I'm educated. I have a good job. But I wouldn't get the comments that I get if it wasn't for my skin color and it wasn't because I'm full Spanish. Like I can fluently speak Spanish. Like I can adapt and be very American. And when I'm with my Spanish friends, I can be very, very Spanish.
Right.
And I've learned as I've grown up, I'm going to embrace it either way, regardless. I'm talking to whoever I'm talking to. Oh, we did this over the weekend, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. This is my culture. It's who I am, and it's part of who I am. I understand that we live in a place where you get in box and like, oh, this guy's Mexican or illegal. I had one time, like, some guy asked me, like, oh, how'd you get your papers? Why? I would never get that question. I would never get that question. You know what I'm saying? Like, even an African American, you won't get that question.
No.
Yeah.
A Spanish person will, because you're in a country where we've already been basically put in some type of box. Like you see Hispanic, like, oh, this guy must do hard labor jobs. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's tough. Like I feel like minorities have to work 2 times harder to be where they're at now. And look, I'm not against. I have a lot of friends that their parents have a lot of money and they do very well. I'm not against, like, if you grew up like that. I mean, good for you. Just make sure that you're not acting like that as you grow up, and you're making sure that you're making an impact on everybody else around you, right? Like you're not just embracing how you grew up. Like, yeah, I grew up with a lot of money and I'm doing well, but what impact can you do to the rest of the community to make sure that's not happening to other people that don't have those resources?
Yeah.
So
listen, and let's not forget empanadas taste fantastic.
That's one thing. Everybody loves Spanish food.
Exactly.
I love Spanish food. Listen, I will also say that you guys hit on cultural. Like Spanish culture is so different than Black culture. Like I remember, like, just growing up in New York, like, it's like damn near half Spanish, half Black, like for most of it, right? Like, outside of the white people. But at the same time, like, you go to a Spanish barbecue and I'm like looking around and everyone's dancing and like the mom is dancing with the son and the father's dancing with the daughter and all the cousins are dancing together. Like, and I'm looking around like, God damn, like there's like a different degree of like compassion or just passion in general that's shown here than what I normally see at like Black barbecues. Like, so it was interesting for me to see that first person and to see how those cultural norms and differences can go down to, from a family perspective. But from your guys' perspective, I'm sure that both of y'all have dated Latino and then Latina as well as Black women. So you say it's mostly a cultural perspective, or would you think, or is there any kind of differences in that dating lifestyle besides cultural?
I would say from my perspective, I think Latin women are more comfortable taking your like typical kind of housewife role, where like you would be head of household, you would bring home, like if you were going to get to that point where you'd be head of household, she would be at home with the kids, taking care of the house, taking care of whatever the house needs, kind of your typical like stay-at-home mother. I think in my experience, more Latin women would transition towards that, where Black women are very much, in my experience, have been kind of against that. And I think a lot of that, I will definitely chime in, or Pablito definitely chime in. When
and
they also talk about we sweating. Ain't no one sweating over here. Massage.
We're drinking that juice.
Grilled plantains now.
It's some fruitful conversation though.
Listen,
that's what's got us sweating.
I used to be in a situation with a Latina, and her empanada game. Oh my God. Her arroz con pollo game. Oh, Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm talking, just loves to cook, just loves to pamper.
I think culturally, like, Latinas, they grew up with learning how to cook. Their like Spanish moms are Spanish moms. Like they will always be Spanish moms. Like they want to make sure that everybody's attended,
everyone's fed,
house super clean. And that's, as a Latina growing up, that just sticks to the girl. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that I think culturally, I see where you're coming from, where it comes to like, you would see more Latina females being like that house person. But at the same time, I see, as our generation grows up, I see a lot of Latina empowerment. There's a lot of movements around Latinas in the workplace, going out there and building their own careers and not being that what you're used to, right? Use that culture.
What are they talking about? Give my lad some water, bro. You
I'm good.
Are they talking about you sweating?
I'm good,
bro. Listen,
I'm good.
You need a paper towel.
It's hot in here. I got a sweater on.
Ain't hot in here. Come on, man.
Hot.
They calling you out.
That's just a testament to your lighting and to your camera.
It's real over here, dog. There's some napkins over there.
There's crazy combo in here, folks. Crazy scenes.
I'm like looking at the chat, like, what are they talking about? Damn, it's also that amazing camera right over there.
Let me get a napkin. Let me be the uncle at the picnic.
Uncle Pablito.
Pablito at the picnic.
Right. Just give a little dab. Woo. I want you to hold that thing in your pocket now. I don't want to get no corona on my desk.
Hey, it's COVID-19, boys. It's COVID-19.
J Doe says, love that. I papi. When they getting served. Let them know, Uncle J Doe. Let them know. Speak your truth, brother. Salud. Listen. Turn on the AC. Forehead looking shiny. Probably. No, I am comfortable as fuck.
You are between both of us, but
I am.
Sheesh. That's
funny. Okay.
That's funny.
You got some hot boxes.
Listen, turn on the AC.
Oh, that shit's funny.
Listen,
that shit is funny.
I apologize, Pablito.
Just like it's mediocre, there's mediocre air conditioning. Holy hell!
Oh, I can see it now. Nigga got a giant adrenal gland or some shit. Pituitary gland on fire right now.
Quick sweater.
Right, it's quick sweater. Salud, the Marcus. Hello, I dated this Dominican chick back in the day. Your mom had the biggest pot of rice every day. Facts. Facts.
Always fed.
Listen.
Always fed. And if you don't finish the whole plate, they get mad.
Yeah, never
Listen.
Finish the whole plate.
Yo, what's better, Spanish rice or Indian rice? Because Indian rice, their rice is incredible as well.
I'm biased. I'm Spanish all day.
Yeah, Spanish rice.
I'm Spanish rice.
It's seasoned the way that it, because I grew up on adobo. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I have adobo at the house.
Yeah, like I got some adobo back there too. I got the sazon.
Oh yes, that's
I got the sazon.
That's one is good.
It turned your whole shit orange. yeah, just a little bit. You put a little bit of sazon in that bitch.
It tastes good though.
Everything's orange.
It tastes good though.
Nah, it's fantastic. Jonathan says best chat on YouTube. Salud. Everybody that's down into the chat. We have a fun tonight. Salud. We're gonna be up here for another 30 minutes, and I know the young men have an agenda. They got things that we gotta do.
Commitments.
You know what I'm saying? They got commitments. We're gonna be back over here tomorrow night as well. We have Tiara coming through. Tiara's coming through. It's gonna be a fantastic conversation. She might be bringing some of her friends through as well. So the lens might be littered with a lot of other people. Gloria says Caribbeans got the best food. Listen, I have Caribbean lineage as well.
Gloria.
I don't know if it's better than Spanish.
Gloria.
See it, Gloria.
I don't know if it's better. The thing is, when you say Caribbeans, like it's so like they're all so different. Like
talking about Bohemian food,
Jamaican food, Grenadian, like what you talking about? It's all different. It's all seasoned differently. Like what you talking about? Come on, talk to us. You gotta be more specific. Caribbean is like, it's like saying African food, and then there's Ethiopian food, there's Nigerian food. Let's talk about it. Also, too, guys, let's continue this conversation.
Let's get to the top meme.
He said,
I've been waiting for this.
Come on.
I've been talking about.
I've been waiting for this one.
That's all right here.
My boy Pablo, man, his boy,
You see Pip Pip? You see Pip Pip down
Yeah,
there?
I go Pip Pip. I'm the Preacher Pablo, boys. Preacher Pablo in the building.
At the top of the congregation.
With the red cup boys.
We still collecting for the house funds.
Yeah, we still collecting. Yo, we ran out of air conditioning here, so send those funds over.
Listen.
We'll get the sweat going.
Listen, here, and this is the one you want to go over?
Yeah,
listen.
Boys, I've been waiting for this one.
Test time! Provide your answers below. Okay? Let's talk about it. You have $700. You. I was supposed to say your. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, your. Boo. Ask you for $300. Your ex. Ask you for $200. How much money do you have left?
700, folks. Let's move, 700.
Listen,
that's quick math.
Listen, that's quick math. Listen. I want to just quickly call out this one. It was my most commented of the week. 280 comments. Gents, I gotta go run to the restroom. My bladder's about to bust. It's about to pop. I didn't like the word bust in that in that scenario. I hated it, so I retracted that statement. Gents, I want you to start off and open up deliberation.
Jonathan, -7.
They deserve all my cash.
Shit.
Man, what you been doing, Jonathan?
You were on my. I was
big
on your side.
Fella, what you been doing, big fella?
Jonathan.
96 says it's unrealistic to mess with a girl, not spam money.
No, not if you do it right.
FTR got him going through the gas. Salute to Uncle Jay. No. Listen, I want you guys to open up deliberation in the best way that y'all know how. I will be right back.
All I know is that if I had a boo, she's not asking me for money. I want assets, not liabilities. I don't want my girl asking me for money. It's different if it's a birthday celebration.
Yeah.
We're not.
All said Jonathan. Let's see what the folks are saying.
He said he's playing. He said he was playing. We'll forgive him. We'll forgive Jonathan.
All right. Let's see.
I'm gonna get a quick refill.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah.
Refill up real quick, then address
the gas chamber.
Address any of you guys who said your bank account goes down given these scenarios that we just laid out. Because that's problematic. That's very problematic.
I mean, I really hope you guys aren't considering giving any money to your ex.
I mean,
unless
I will say the reason may make a difference, but at the same time, I can't say that it will. But out of curiosity, I will definitely ask, what for?
That's definitely gonna make a big difference. Say chick. For we oh yeah.
Let me grab a mouse real quick.
Okay.
Grab a mouse real quick. Or not. Oh, there we go. Let's see what we got.
My boo can ask me for bread. Okay. My ex,
I mean, no. I don't disagree with it, but are you
Malcolm? But let's talk about what's the definition of bread. I mean, how much is she asking you for?
This one, okay.
Daryl.
$1,400 after you finesse them out of the same thing they asked for.
I got high hopes, Daryl.
Mad at you.
I got high hopes, Daryl.
402. What's good?
Damn.
I like it. A lot of you guys are on the same page as how get the mouse
back to our host.
Get to the host.
Mediocre tutorials and reviews.
Listen. What are they saying? Let me just make sure that the answers are relatively. All right, let me see.
Going to the gas chamber.
Sheesh. You still sweating? What going on?
Fruitful conversations.
Someone looking and see if Corona has any symptoms associated with excessive sweating.
Come on, son.
Excessive sweating.
I don't want no problems, bro.
All right.
Yo, Pip says,
you make a good point.
You want to read it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You mean to tell me, if your girlfriend asks you for $300 for legitimate reasons and she is you made a good key word, financially responsible. That means she's got a job. You wouldn't lend it to her? SMH. So would consider it. Nah, I've done that before. I've actually lended like grand.
So lending and giving are two different.
Yeah, those are two different
conversations.
Lending is I walk away from lending knowing there's going to be a return.
Gloria, why are you doing this?
Gloria. Call him out, Gloria. Call him out. He's nervous over here. Something's going on.
Where's Latino on the show?
Right. You have a very overactive adrenal gland. Your pituitary gland is on fire right now. Shout out to Pip. Here's the thing, guys. Here's my answer. Okay. Here's my answer. Listen, guys. There's a lot of people out there with a definition of a relationship that, right? Like if I ever was to say I was in a relationship with somebody, it's someone who I would think about, being in a relationship for a very long time. This question right here, it says boo. I don't know what the hell that means. Yeah. I don't know what the hell that means. That don't mean shit to me. What does boo mean? She's just giving you viscosity for the evening? Is that what it means? I don't know what that means. So by this definition, 700 facts each and every day.
Big facts.
Here's the thing. Shout out to Pip. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on the goddamn shirt. That's my thing.
You get your boy got the 5.
Now,
my boy Corey.
Now, if it's give, right? Like if she asked me for 300 and she's a boo, I'm putting interest on it with a contract. I'm putting a 19.99% interest rate on it.
Ooh, annual.
And I'm doing a contract with a promissory note.
Is that compounded interest?
That's what it is. I'm making money off of her.
Quicken Loans.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
making reviews because I don't right. So, but at the same time, in the same situation, if this is someone who is financially responsible and she is gonna go in on something, I think it's just like, you know if she's financially responsible. You know how she lives her life. Don't be out here just throwing your monies away, gents.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Now, also too, let's look at this for good. Just because she's your ex don't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say she had a plane ticket home. She's broke as fuck and her mom died. You know what I'm saying? What would y'all say? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Have I met the mother?
No.
Question number 1.
Ooh, if I haven't met the mother, I mean, it's
I don't know. All right, let's take a step back. There's a couple factors here.
Let's talk about it.
Was this like a 1 month ex, or was it like maybe like a 6 to 12 month ex? That's number 1.
Let's say 6 to 12 months.
All right.
And
Factor
are you on
number
good
2.
terms?
Factor number 2. How was the relationship?
How did it end?
How did it end?
How did it end?
Who was the douchebag in the situation?
You cheated, not she.
Okay,
she might
so
be entitled to the 2.
So you're saying that the correlation of you feeling guilty is gonna incline you to give her the 200 to go for her mom's.
I'm gonna give her the caveat. I'm gonna give you this 2.
100%.
But you better quit telling people I cheated on your ass. We're even after this. We're even. We're even.
You heard the what? You're the wetness.
It's a dry cough. It's a dry cough. You gotta be on the
dry
lookout
cough.
for. It's a dry cough.
The wet ones. No, we're good.
I gotta work on Monday, guys.
No, we all do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this whole 50% rule.
Hey, unless.
Listen.
You saw the email that came out? 20 days extra.
No.
You didn't see the email that came out?
Off?
Oh,
Jesus.
and paid. Yeah.
PTO?
Oh,
it's a wrap.
You moved that. I'll show
Listen.
you out there.
All right, cool. Listen.
I think right there.
What's up?
Drero, the Sway demon, makes a good point.
What up, Drero?
Damn.
Who was the first person she asked? Listen, here's the thing. I don't think anybody should ask you for money ever. I don't. So, like, if it's a situation that they explain and you know their history of financial health and
too much red cup, bro.
Financial health and wellness and their literacy. You know, if you don't have right, like if you're a dude that has $100,000 in the bank and someone's asking you for 200 and you know it's gonna help them, irrespective of the situation, you gotta do whatever it's gonna do for you to make yourself happy. But at the end of the day, if you don't got it like that, right? Like if you have $1,000 in the bank and someone is asking you for 200, that's a completely different story in the situation, irrespective of a boo, your friend, You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like if this was a boo and an ex, 99% of the time, I am not giving them anything. Okay? I'm not giving them anything.
Not even depending on the situation?
That's the 1%. That's the 1%. It depends. Because there's some things that you should be able to feel confident in doing, not knowing you're going to get the money back, but you know it's going to help someone in their situation.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a small percentage of that. That's just like when I go to the homeless shelter and I participate in time for people that may or may not have felonies where they did some weird shit to children, right? Like it's just what kind of comes with the territory. If I lend out money, I cannot expect it to come back. Yeah. But trust and believe. If it's a situation where I am not confident, I'm getting a promissory note and I'm adding some interest on top of it. Facts. Facts. I will take you to the court of law. I don't need a lawyer for that. I know how to do that on my own. That's a YouTube search away. You see what I'm saying? Salute to Jay Doe. He says, generous brothers help anyone, but we most def don't help feminists. Yeah,
Jay Doe.
Jay Doe in the building. Listen, yeah, if she don't have our best interests in mind, it's a wrap for her.
I think to your point though, it's like don't ever set yourself back trying to put someone else forward. You know, I think to exactly what you said. If you got $100K in the bank, she asking for 200, I mean, I want to say don't be that guy. It's your money, but at the same time, that doesn't hurt you. Versus, like you said, if you only got $1,000 in the bank, and that 200 might set you back. You know what I mean?
Right.
You had intentions for that 200.
Facts.
You have a different decision point to make.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think it's to your point. It is about where you're at financially to be able to help somebody.
Facts. And at the same time, because like the same argument, some people could say like, "Yo, well, you got 100,000 in the bank. What's the problem? Like a $200 date?" And I still think that's a complete and utter waste of money, and 100%. It's because of economics.
100%.
Right? Like because. Like I can get what I want out that situation for $5. So why would I pay for someone who I don't know for $200? But meanwhile, if this young lady needs to go back and see her sick mother, you know what I'm saying, and she don't have money, and if you're well off, that's a different type of a situation.
And on top of the fact, it's just like just because I have 100K doesn't mean I can't spend 200 on a date.
MTR turned into the IRS when it comes to lending money.
Pip with the trolls.
Absolutely.
So he worse than student loans.
Oh, they going in. Change your name from MTR to the Monopoly Bank, and you don't play fam interest rate on their bras. Shout out to Jay Doe. You already know, bro. Promissory note and interest. 19.99% interest rate if you want to with your bar. Okay? Or not, you got plenty of other booze or exes. I'm sure you do. Okay.
You should this combo into online dating. What are your thoughts on that one?
You want to talk about that real quick? I did have another topic. All right, so we're going to do 15 more minutes. What's up with the Tinders? What's up with the Bumbles? Let's get down it. Pablito, you okay?
Pablito, you
that rag is soaked.
He needs the interest for this air conditioning fix.
The AC motherfucker at 60 degrees. It's 30 degrees outside. The goddamn heat's on.
We got lights everywhere in this bitch.
Why you always lying?
Nigga dripping because there's a pituitary gland is overactive. Blame it on my AC. The nervous coward. No, my AC's on, bro.
Yo,
Don't
Sam,
let him lie to you.
He's lying.
My heat's on.
I'm dying, Sam. I'm like Sandy without her fucking tank. I can't breathe in this place.
Listen, Jessica says MTO, but what if she's your type? What does that mean? She's a she must be talking about a boo. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, she wouldn't be on boo if she wasn't my type, but like, you still got to go through the evaluation process. You see what I'm saying? There's an evaluation process. Anyway, let's dovetail for the last 15 minutes or so into online dating. I had another post up here that I put, but I could just put that in tomorrow's Red Cup chat. Kyle, I see you down there. What's good, my G?
What up?
How are you, bro? How are you? Listen, y'all been going on in the comments tonight. Listen. Come on, sweating like a Jehovah. A Latin Jehovah. Oh, Sheen, they going there, bro. Sheesh. He has a god damn.
Oh yeah, he just had no mercy for Alvaro.
Pablito. You got your own name, bro. You're a liar.
No mercy for Pablito. Jesus.
Right. Listen. Oh damn. Okay, one last one. Damn. All right. Listen.
Damn, pit.
Listen. All right. So last topic. Let's get in the next 10 minutes or so. Maybe we'll round that out with this other topic that I have planned. Dating, online dating. Let's talk about it from the perspective that you guys know best. Okay. Successes divided by the failures. What's your success rate? Let's talk about it.
So I've never really online dated, truthfully. I've never kind of seen myself in that realm. I think where I was living before coming out here, I didn't need to. I mean, the social scene was on and popping. So like I could go out and meet people naturally. So online dating was never really an option. Moving out here, I haven't hit the desperation place of like
needing to do it,
of Bumble account creation.
You're not on it.
I'm not on it. I'm not on it.
Wish I could say the same.
So I can't speak to this, but I know Pablito over here has a the man
lives through me. He lives through me.
I live through him.
They all live through me.
The man's got stories.
Well, let's talk about those stories. Shout out to Kyle. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Did you check the email I sent you? I did not, bro. I took a nap right before the live stream, woke up, and then the gents walked in. I did not. I'll have to take a look at it a little bit later. But thank you, bro, for the $2 super chat. Kyle in the building. Everyone know Kyle.
Kyle.
Everyone know Kyle.
FaceTime last time.
Listen. Oh, you saw on the
FaceTime. Yeah, my boy Kyle coming through. When Ford was here.
414.
Ford.
Oh, when Ford was here. Yeah.
He came through on boy Kyle.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, quick FaceTime, bro.
I gotta edit those videos up and put them on the channel because there's a lot of people that either don't remember or just have not seen that amazing content. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway,
fruitful conversations.
Pablito, I want you to talk about some of these experiences.
It's tough out here.
Okay.
I mean,
success rate. Talk about it.
Success rate. I mean, it's not bad, but at the same time, it's like you can never get to know somebody through an online app. I think it's physically impossible. There's been situations where shit clicks, and there's been a situation where like the girl wants you to like pursue more.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you're not the type of guy to pursue more, like I've had friends that are like very persistent. I'm not the persistent type, so I feel like some girls on those online websites, and then the pictures, the pictures are lies. The pictures are lies.
They lie.
When they have that first face picture, that's where you gotta be cautious. Because that next one's a full body, and it's like, oh, hold up, that is not what you're seeing on that first picture at all.
Shout out to Kyle. My son is from a dating app.
Oh, I hate to see.
Was it? Kyle,
God, talk to us.
Kyle, talk, yo. Why you not wearing condoms out here, Kyle? Kyle,
rookie mistake 101.
Wrap up, Kyle.
Jesus.
You can't be raw dogging chicks from Tinder apps.
Don't tell me it was eHarmony.
Come on, son.
That's a farmer's life.
I think honestly though, where you see the most success is when the girl pursues you.
Talk about it, bro.
You know, you see some fine girl, like you can't be sending her a message first. I mean, regardless on Bumble, they have to send you a message first, but the other ones, you gotta wait till they message you. I think that's where you get the most success rate.
Yeah.
Not where you're chasing, where they're chasing.
So let's say this has online dating. Is there a financial expectation to the in-person date?
So
never.
For me, I've learned from my experiences, right?
All right, talk about
I learned from my experiences. I went from spending don't ever
talk about it.
Don't ever take a girl out to brunch. That's number one. Number one is don't go to brunch.
Facts.
Because next thing you know, you're $90 down the
tank. It can happen fast.
It can happen real quick. But I've learned to wherever you go, it's either going to be coffee or it's a quick $2 to $3, or it's going to be like a quick place where there's like a happy hour, like a Sunday or something like that. Like for example, like the place down the street has $5 Long Islands on Sundays. So I've learned to pick places strategically where like the drinks are cheap or that situation, because you never know what it's going to end up. I mean, I've been on one day where you had good conversation, good drinks, and then next thing you know, like you're just not talking to this girl ever again. So if you invested, let's say, between $80 to $90 into a date that happened to be zero value to you, then you took the L. Huge L. So
shout out to Kyle. Public service announcement. Bitches. Oh, bitches lying. I'm like, what is he talking about?
I'm glad you were able to decipher that, because I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. I can't disagree with the young man.
I mean,
shout out
honestly,
Kyle again.
The only reason why I got on the Bumble, the Tinders, is because I knew zero people when I came here. In Miami, I wasn't on it because
there's no reason.
There's no reason to. And I think it depends on the culture where you're at. Like where we're at right now, the culture is like when people go out, like they're in their groups and they have their own friends. Where in Florida, I mean, I already had
not a single city.
A lot of single city. I mean, we're in a place where you get married at 22, and
not a single.
That's
city.
not how it is in Florida. So I think that's why I'm on it, and it's because I just didn't know, and especially where I work, like the group that I work with is just 40 plus families, kids. They're in different lifestyles than I am. So
listen, Kyle says it was plenty of fish, not Tinder.
What is that?
The savage life chose me.
Oh, is that an app?
The Plenty of Fish is another like dating app.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they get it popping on.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, go ahead, bro. Why not?
Import profile.
Import
Bumble
transfer.
profile.
Listen, for me, the Tinders and all that shit, like it's an app that you play when you're taking the shit. Okay, for me,
It's
like
a
shit app.
Swiping
I
app.
agree on that one.
It's a take a shit app. You know what I'm saying? Shout out! I just got one more Patreon supporter. I don't know if he wants me to say his name. No, I want to shout you out, bro. I don't know if you want to chat right now. There's a lot of my Patreon supporters that have written me and said, but don't say my name though. So I just want to say your name. But shout out to you, bro. You know who you are. Thank you so much for signing up to the Patreon. Okay, let me put that information down there real quick.
Sam was not about.
Sam was like,
Plenty of Fish.
That's what you got there.
Hold on, let me just put the Patreon down there for those. There's a lot of Patreon supporters that are down in the chat right now. Salute to each and every one of y'all. Feel free to go up there for additional content. Y'all already know. And listen, guys, I know I haven't said a lot in this channel, but we're about to get out here in about 5 minutes or so.
Ooh, Burnett, he's back again.
We're about to get out here in about 5 minutes or so. Guys, throw a like on the channel, please.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Like
Please.
it up.
Like a quick like.
Please.
Enjoy
Keep showing the sweat.
Where?
Keep showing my forehead. Just give it a like. That's
Give it
what
a
I
like.
like from you guys.
Yo, give this man a like because he's over here perspiring. I'm
Perspiring.
scared what's gonna happen when he gets up from the
I'm
seat.
perspiring for you guys.
Every like is $1 towards the AC fund.
Fruitful
Listen,
It's
conversation.
towards the Red Cup Talk AC
Yeah,
fund.
Red Cup boys,
I am
Red
so-
Cup talk.
I am so angry he has my chair moist, and I don't want anything to do with the chair afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a deep
On the
clean.
right side, we can check the AC out.
The AC is not on because it's cold as fuck outside. You asshole. Shout out to Mr. Michael Bennett. The most success you can have dating as a man is when you set traps. In online dating, you either pursue or get pursued. If the man chases, he loses. What y'all gotta say to that?
I can agree with that. It depends. If you chase, but you have to chase hard enough to win. And some girls like that shit. Some girls fucking like the
but
intense.
if they tell you that they don't want it, walk the fuck away. Like there used to be a smooth time where like they wanted you to chase, but in this Me Too movement, like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, too, I think, people on dating apps intentionally different, right? I think there's some people on there just trying to fuck. There's some people on there trying to find their significant other. And then there's some people on there that just want to get free dates. You know what I mean? I forgot what fucking show, Master of None. So Aziz Ansari's character was just like going on all these random ass dating apps. And there'd be chicks on there that would literally just go on dates to get a free meal.
Facts. Yo, there's like Tinder sites.
Me neither.
There's like Tinder sites to find sugar daddies. Yeah. Sam says stay off Plenty of Fish. Sam also says Plenty of Fish is like more scummy than Tinder. Like you'll come across the most scummiest women on there.
Your leftovers coming home with me.
Listen, Plenty of
your leftovers coming over with me. I don't care if I didn't order it. I paid for it. Your shit coming home with me. No free meals out of me. I'll be damn.
Plenty of Fish had me find my ex cheating, find a condom on the floor and hair that didn't belong to me in his
you were
bed.
checking out the hair?
No, women do that. Women do that.
Lead you to a condom on the floor.
No, because the dude was cheating on her off of Plenty. I mean, it could happen on any day.
That's a big decision tree right there.
Yeah, that's
Plenty of Fish, cheating, hair, condom.
He got caught on purpose. He got caught on purpose.
You think on purpose? I don't think they ever get caught on purpose.
No, bro,
just
condom on the condom on the floor.
So, but for real, don't act like y'all done ever had a situation and then you throw the rapper on the floor.
Rapper and condom are different things.
And it's not even like the full rapper. It's like
she could have meant rapper.
It's a little piece.
She meant condom.
She wrote full condom.
Bro,
what you mean?
Trying to get caught if you leave the rapper on the
Listen,
floor.
it could have been a condom too. Don't ever act like you never been in it unto such to the degree where you in it and you clap out, and then you rip that shit off and throw it across the roof,
and then you pick it up and throw it away.
and just fell out like this for the rest of the night.
No,
Woke up with sticky as shit.
First off, you gotta have a condom safe zone in your room if you're gonna do that.
Everybody got a corner in the wall.
You gotta throw it somewhere where you know you'll see it and step on it.
Right.
You can't throw it next to the window sill where you know you don't go by the window. You gotta throw it like near the door. So if she's walking out, she might say something. If you're walking somewhere, you might see it and say something. You can't just be throwing the shit behind you like a lasso. Motherfucker, you need a condom resurrection zone where it's like, all right, if this shit get intense and I want to throw this bitch off, I need to know I can find it later.
Facts. Listen, and pro tip, never let them just take their clothes off anywhere. Okay? That's how they forget shit. That's how they forget earrings and rings and bracelets. Always have a designated place that they can put their bullshit so that when it's done, you can see where exactly everything is at. Some of them come in there and just start taking their shit. I'm like, no, hold up. Let me get this. Put that shit over there so we can find it.
This ain't that kind of place.
Facts. Listen.
Have their clothes be right next to the condom designation zone.
Right. The condom. Right. I like that, bro.
You can find all of it.
I can cook tostones on his forehead.
Damn, Gloria.
Listen.
Gloria got time
tonight. Gloria, just go after the Spanish kid.
Gloria got time tonight.
She got time. She been here the entire time. Oh, we had 2 hours. Listen, we're gonna hop out of here in a quick second.
Christian Mingle hoes be busting for real. That shit is funny.
Watch the game.
I didn't see that. Listen. Shout out to Kyle again for the $2 super chat. First time preggo. My son is 3. Listen, wait a minute. So you went on Plenty of Fish one time, and then now you have a 3-year-old?
Shit.
Bro, stop fucking raw.
No condom designation zone.
Listen, Kyle, you need to look at the video I did on my favorite condom. Okay. You need look at Jado. Listen, and Jado, I don't know if you noticed, he only writes in caps lock. He only writes in keyboard. Sweating like they shout out for the NFL. Right.
Come on.
But notice, Jordan is not sweating.
I am not sweating. He's got the hat on.
Listen.
It's hot in here. It's hot in here, fellas.
Dog.
Gents and ladies.
It's like a little swamp over there, bro.
The AC going.
Listen.
That shit is funny.
Listen, all right, ladies and gents. Well, mostly my gents, my gentlemen. We about to get out of here for in a little bit. Oh, y'all are going in. Y'all please donate and like the vid for just $1 a day. You can help this sweaty Latin man achieve his dreams of dryness today.
Help me. Help me.
Wait a minute, lift the arm up. Oh, that was what the fuck? Oh, he's sweating for real. Hold up, let me get this real sweat. Dog, lift it up. Real sweat. Grow up.
Help me.
God damn.
Help me.
Jesus Christ.
Send the money ASAP.
God.
Send the money ASAP.
A quick shower post stream.
God damn.
Help.
Dog,
Fix
we
the
gotta.
AC.
Dog, I
Help
got.
fix the AC.
Dog, I got extra towels over there. You can go throw yourself because if you guys are going out after this, how can you go out with confidence? Deodorant has melted. Malcolm, real talk. Anytime I see that, I get irritated. Yo, Mr. Woo-Saw, I see you. Let me see. We about to get out of here, gents. Let me see. He said probably got no mom on the floor.
Damn, Marcus.
Bro, some people some people like feet. I like pies. Salute to Kyle. Salute. All right, listen. I think we here.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? I think we are at
real glasses you rocking.
Listen, I think we're at the end of the chat. Listen, appreciate for everybody that came through tonight to show love and respect.
For sure.
Gentlemen.
Always a pleasure.
Pablito.
Always a pleasure. Sorry.
Oh, his hands are damp. I gotta go. Sorry, Jordan. All right,
Salute.
Salute. Listen. Kyle, thank you so much again for the $2 super chat. Salute. All right.
Until next time, folks.
Until next time, you too. I appreciate each and every one. Listen,
Conversation.
tomorrow around 8-ish, around 8, 9-ish, we're gonna do it again. Another conversation with at least Tiara. It might be some more that's coming through as well. It's gonna be an interesting conversation. Until next time, you too. Peace. 2 hours of power.